This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, thank you.
So when mediation comes into picture, do any one of you can guess when we require to do mediation between the two systems?
So whenever we are sending the usage to for any calculations to build the interface,
Mm-hmm.
maybe for me it's BRIM. Basically, we have a convergent charges is a separate system where we will calculate the ratings and usages on the convergent charges. But in between, if you want to pass a certain parameters, the data from source system to the convergent charges to calculate the usage of those things. So at that time we will use, as per my understanding, that's mediation.
Yeah, you are mostly correct. So when mediation comes into the picture, when two systems aren't compatible of talking to each other. Talking to each other means term one is when they don't have the connectivity. Means suppose you have the front end system which is using the JSON, and you have other system which take the file based data. It takes the CSV based data. So they aren't compatible of talking to each other. Second scenario came when they don't have the identical data formats or compatible data formats, also don't have connectivity, also don't have the data format matching. Then also mediation comes into the picture. So mediation is basically the data processing system where we can do series of steps on the data which is collected. We can do the filtration, enrichment, duplicate detection, splitting, cloning of data into the mediation system. So as shown in this figure, here is the source system where mediation collect the data from, and it distribute the data to the destination system. So next is the event. So what is the event? So event is single billable occurrence of the product usage, and typically captured electronically by the network. When I am saying captured electronically by the network, it is in terms of the telecom. But in the BRIM, if we say Uber is built using the BRIM, and Uber application you all know, like right, Ola and Uber.
Yes, Swara, we are.
Yeah, we're familiar with it. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So we are guessing that if front end is built using the we say Angular, and back end is built using the Spring Boot. But when Angular passes data to the Spring Boot, and we are using BRIM for the back end billing. So when user registers, then it is not a billable occurrence. But when user book the parking services or user book the cab, then it is the billable occurrence of the product usage, because you are using the data, or you are booking something with the money. Then it is the event, and that information is passed to the billing backend from the Spring Boot application, and it comes to the mediation, and then mediation process the data and filter out the relevant data. Because if we say, like, if there is a billing in event, there is a customer information like customer name, customer phone number, email ID, and like how much cost for the cab, how much kilometer it was billed for. Some unnecessary information will be also there, so not every information will be sent to the billing system. Only the billing related information will be filtered out by the mediation, so it reduces the data load. You don't have to like process all the fields, so mediation does this task. And in the telecom scenario, when a mobile phone user makes a telephone call, event is generated which contains the information about the phone call, like the duration of the call, time of the day call was made, number which was called, name of the ca- caller and the call person. So now you get to know what is event. Are you all clear about this?
Yes.
So, CDR, an event along with its all attributes, is called as a call detail record. Now, we say the information is passed being along with the event. Information like caller, call number, duration, etc. So, all these details are called as a call detail record. In the BRIM terms, it is called as a UDR. When we are booking the parking services or any service, it is called as a usage detail record. So data collector of the network switch captures the usage in form of the CDR or the UDR. And here is again we are seeing the purpose on screen. When the destination system doesn't understand the data format of the source system, and the destination system cannot connect to the source system to collect the data usage, then mediation comes into the picture. When the systems aren't have the capability to communicate with each other. Here is the example, like person is speaking Spanish, so mediation will translate the Spanish into the English and will pass the data to the English speaking person. So it is an example.
Okay, good.
Next is the telecom mediation, but I want to ask you a question, like you want to know more about the BRIM based mediation or telecom based mediation, or both?
I think both would be good, Swara.
Okay. So in the telecom mediation, the mediation system convert the call data to the predefined layout that can be imported by the specific billing system. So telecom mediation is mostly offline, and network captures the usage data in binary or ASN format, or any other possible encoded format. And billing system that consumes this data doesn't have the capability to understand the binary or ASN format. So what mediation do is mediation convert this binary 0110 format to the normal ASCII understandable format, and mediation converts this UDR to the predefined layout. So we can write, I say, decoder kind of in mediation system. When we collect the call data or usage data in telecom from the user by these network elements MSC, GGSN, SMSC, MMS, you can read about this network element on the internet. We get the data from these elements and it is form of raw CDRs. Sometimes it is binary 0110 format, sometimes it is ASN. ASN is similar like JSON but little bit different. So mediation system picks this data and convert this data into the understandable format in ASCII form to the billing system. Billing system can be the BRM or anything like that. So following are the downstream supported by the telecom mediation: retail billing, wholesale billing, network traffic management, data warehousing, reconciliation systems, fraud management, provisioning, BRM, revenue assurance, and ICT. And in BRIM scenario particularly, downstreams will be the SOM, it can be CC, it can be CI. And upstream can be also SOM, CC, and CI, also with the external portals, because mediation can pick data from the any system. Uh, it support SOAP protocol, it support HTTP, it support REST protocol. So downstream in terms of BRIM, it will be SAP Convergent charging, SAP Convergent invoicing, and SOM system, subscription order management system. It is clear that what can be the upstreams and what can be the downstreams, or do you have any questions, team?
Swara, can you repeat the SAP related things once again?
Yeah. So in the SAP BRIM scenario, upstream can be the mobile applications, web application, any system which can give the, we can say, web service call, REST, HTTP, file base, FTP, SFTP, anything, TCP, IP. Mediation has very like a number of compatible agents. If you see the GUI, anything can be the upstream. Also upstream can be SAP convergent charging, because like mediation support the notification agent which picks the notification from the SAP CC. So SAP CC can also be the upstream. Then SAP convergent invoicing can be also be upstream, when it is like we can do the web service call and we can connect to the SAP CI. Also mediation can pick the data from SOM, also subscription order management, and Also the same system can work as a downstream systems, where we send the bits and sits to SAP CC and SAP CI.
And what is the storage for CM?
That will see
Yeah.
into the like
Okay.
upcoming modules. Should we go ahead for now? Like, are you understand what is mediation and what systems it can connect and what's its usage?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yes.
other than this BRIM and this one, so which system that it can be used, this convergent mediation?
So I have worked in postal projects,
Mhm.
advertising projects, tolling and transportation project, parking assistance services, insurance
Okay.
systems, and it all
So
uses BRIM.
what is
Sorry,
the upstream system
I'm
for
saying
that? For
mediation
this,
particularly. Hmm?
what is the upstream system, upstream application for this? Either anything it
Upstream
will
system
be.
can be different every time, because
Okay.
when I worked on parking assistance system, upstream was mobile application. Okay.
Okay.
When I worked on another project, it was the web application, and backend was in Hybris, SAP Hybris. Then
Okay.
for the insurance, it was the database mostly. We are fetching the data from the database of the another system for the
Okay.
insurance. For the telecom, it's the like file based transfer mostly.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And
Please.
yeah, so that's it. Then we are moving to the mediation zone introduction. So mediation zone is the system developed by the DigitalRoute in 1999. Mediation zone is a trending product which stands up to the date as per the market latest market requirement. It can handle a large amount of data. So source application can be uh, like applications, machines, network elements, tracking devices, and mediation can pick the data from them and send to billing, analytics, roaming, tracking, policy management, customer experience, fraud management, network management. So this is the diagram of billing mediation. So these are all the network data sources from the telecom: GGSN, SGSN, MSC, fixed line, SMS, IMS. So this is the mediation system. So as we know, in the process layer, you can see that we can do the scheduling by using the mediation zone. We can control the processing of the workflows. Like we can set the workflows to be execute after one another, and we can monitor the same workflows. In the reporting layer, we can analyze the data and we can generate the report. We can store the data into the database and we can generate the report by using the mediation tool. In the storage layer, we can archive the data for the letter reference and we can manage the data for the reference. In the metadata layer, we can audit the data and we can describe the data. In the acquisition layer, we can collect the data. Also we can do the duplicate check, and if there are multiple downstream, suppose you got the usage detail record, okay, and the same record after processing you have to send the usage to the CC, and you have to also send the same usage to CI. So for the CC, some of you know we are using the charge ODR, and for the CI, it is the RFC call. So what we'll do, we'll clone the data. Means we'll clone the same usage object. We'll do the copy of that object. One will be sent to the SAP CC. One will be sent to the SAP CI. So this is the cloning. So this all operation will be done into the acquisition layer. In next, the data validation means if we are getting the all fields or not, we can set up the validation rules we can set into the code also, and we can uh, use the property files to set the validation rules also. We can reformat the data, means change the data into the another format. Suppose it's JSON and we have to generate the CSV, so we'll decode the JSON data. We'll see in the next session how to decode the data and how to encode the data into the different format. So it's reformatting basically. Then we can filter out the unnecessary data which is not required for billing. Means mediation can keep it in its database but will not send forward to the another system. For those who are working in the CC, so there is a like chargeable item class XML, so that don't contain the all fields that is coming from UI. So selective fields from means that field required in that XML only will filter out from the CM system. We can also aggregate data using the billing mediation. We can split the data, and in the end we can transfer the data or we can load the data into the database. In the exception layer we can capture the exception and we can make the another workflow. We can capture the exception and we can mark the entry into the database and we can reprocess that exception again. So end system, as we earlier checked, that are the similar like roaming, warehouse and all. Any question in this middle block? In
So
detail we are going to see each and every block from this, but like any question for now?
now
No,
we'll move forward.
if you're getting a detailed explanation later, then we are good now.
Yeah, because this middle operation will be done by the coding. This operation collection, duplication check, cloning, transfer and load, and this above operation will be done by the configuration in mediation zone. So we have to see it in tool itself.
And the coding, what is the language used, Sona? Yes.
It uses APL, means analysis programming language. So it's not Java, but it's similar to Java. If you know Java, it will be very easy for you. They
Yeah.
have their own handbook PDF, which we will provide you. It is also like open sourcely available on the InfoZone portal. We'll pass you the link. You can check it there. So
Okay.
APL is the custom language. Like I will teach you like how to do the syntaxing and how to do the mapping,
Okay.
and it's very easy. And for the decoding and encoding purpose we are using the another language which is called the ultra. So we'll see these two in next chapters. Okay.
Okay.
What is the APL you said?
Analysis programming language.
Analysis programming language. Okay.
Hmm.
So, Sora,
So
you're saying that, can you go back to the slide once, Sora?
Hmm.
So in this, you're saying the processing layer, reporting layer will be dealt with the API language.
Yeah, processing layer and reporting layer will be done by the APL language. Yes.
Okay, and the storage layer, mediation layer, acquisition, all these things we had to do the configuration, right?
Yeah, we have to do the configuration. Mediation have provide the agents or similar profiles for this functionality.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Sora.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So this is the mediation zone architecture. Mediation zone is layered into the three different zones: access zone, control zone, and execution zone. Access zone means in what way mediation zone can be accessed. So it will be same in both telecom and BRIM, this whole architecture, okay? So mediation zone can be accessed through the graphical user interface. Then mediation zone can be accessed through command line interface, that can be putty or any like backend tool to connect with the server. Then mediation can be accessed through the web interface. So this web interface is the uh, similar tool like GUI, but it will use the IP of this GUI or hostname of this GUI, and we just have to append /main and this web interface will open. And whatever workflows we have created using this graphical user interface, we can monitor them by this web interface, and we can stop the mediation tool using the CLI. So these are the three ways to access the mediation zone tool. Any questions?
No, we are good.
no, I'm good.
Next is the
Yeah, sorry,
control.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Was this your session was was going continuously, or did I got disconnected just by me only? Because I saw in between I was disconnected. It was only by me, or anybody else also faced the same problem? Just I'm talking about 3 minutes back. Suddenly, 3 minutes back, the session was I couldn't able to hear your voice, and just I tried to log on. I tried to re-log in. Then when I was able to hear you. So just want to know, your session was continuously going ahead, right? Swara?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
Sadhru, we were good.
okay, maybe. Okay, maybe from my side problems. I apologize. Kindly go ahead. Sorry.
Yes.
No, no. What you can do, you can go through the recording later, and into like in next sessions, you can ask me the question if you have any doubts. Okay, that is fine.
Okay, thank you. Pleasure. Yeah, thank you. Please.
Okay, so next is the control zone. So control zone maintains the central repository for the configuration and transactional integrity. Means it is the heart of like mediation zone because it contains the platform. So do you know like any application runs on the server? So similarly, mediation zone runs on this platform NDB, which is togetherly called as a control zone. Means to run the mediation application we have to run this platform, and database should be up, and like when we start the platform automatically DB will be up, and then we can access the graphical user interface of the tool. Means it is like the starting server. You get it? Like to run the tool we have to first start the platform if it is down. In next session, like I will give you the commands like how to start the platform and how does we log in into the platform. So we'll log in into the platform by this command line interface. We log in into the
Uh,
backend of server, and we start this entity which is called as the platform. Then we are able to access this graphical user interface. Yes, you can.
so this can be installed in the local laptop, this everything, or it's a
Actually for this this digital route provide the bundle license, and
okay.
in BRIM it is mostly done by the base system.
That's right.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
done by the base system. What they will do, they will provide you the credentials like this is the IP of the server, this is the password, user will be mz admin, and then you can create the multiple users. You can create user creation. I will show you by the GUI, and then you can log in by the same user to the GUI and CLI. So
Okay.
base system will provide you the credentials, and you can start the platform and start working into the GUI. Because initially they to check that everything is working fine or not, they log in and check, and then they will hand over the tool to you. So next is the execution zone. So now we run the platform, and graphical user interface, CLI, web
Sudha?
interface. Yes.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. So in with respect to control zone, when you're saying platform, can we take it as an application server? Platform is an application server?
Yes, you can call, but in mediation terms, basically, they
Uh,
called it, they called this everything as a PICOs.
okay, okay,
PICOs in Java term, like processes, we can call processes. It is server, yeah, you can call it application server. But if anyone asks you like what is platform, what is EC, what is service context, you can
mm,
tell them that these are PICOs.
okay, okay. Thank you.
So uh, now we'll move to the execution zone. Now we run the platform, and graphical user interface, CLI, and web interface is accessible. But you create the workflow and you need to run it. So what you have to do is you have to run the execution context. So these are the another servers, you can say, or Java processes where the workflow runs. So to access these three things, we have to start the platform, but to run the workflow, EC should be up. So execution zone have two things in it. First one is the EC, that is execution context. Second one is the execution context standalone. So there are two workflow types in the mediation zone: offline and online mediation. In offline, you can say it is mainly the file based, and it doesn't it is not real time. Uber application or Ola application, it is real time, we can say, because in real time we are getting the data. But in file based transfer can happen anytime and it is offline. It does not require the online connectivity or real time interface connectivity. So this layer have the execution context or execution context standalone. So this EC can run offline workflows and online workflows both. Means this process, Java process, which is called as a execution context or EC, can run the offline and online both the workflows. But the second entity, which is execution context stand alone, it will run only the online workflows. Why, that reason we'll see into the next slides. But uh, we can say these are the P codes, EC and ECSA, which runs the workflows. So first step is to start the platform and access these three. Second step is to create the workflows, and third step would the start this EC and ECSS, which is execution zone where the mediation workflow executes. So it have this ECs in its configuration, it have its storage spaces that base system will set initially. And if we got any error or slow processing, you can say them like to increase the memory of this execution zones. This can be single or multiples. Generally it is like always the multiple setting, multiple EC and multiple ECSA. And normally uh, huge workflow will be assigned to the single EC or ECSA. It will not share. And when there is not so much load and all, we'll share the EC and ECSA. EC mostly. Any question in this in detail? We are going to see this system in next slides. Any question for now? Like you understand what it is? Any doubts you can ask.
For now, I couldn't, at least for me, I couldn't visualize how these connections will be. Once we start looking at the system, maybe
Mm-hmm.
we'll get better understanding.
Yes, yes,
And then we
yes.
need to go to this regarding once again,
Yeah,
probably.
yes.
And
Yeah, theoretical will be different because the every component is differently situated. Once we see the GUI, it's understandable.
the DB behind this is HANA or
For the configuration, it's Derby and Oracle if it is there, and if it another database you are using, not the internal one, then it can be Postgres, HANA.
okay.
HANA can be accessed by the HANA Studio and then can be accessed by Mediation Zone 2. Then you can also use the MySQL. Like it gives connectivity to almost every
Okay.
database.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mean to say that the convergent charges is not a separate application, right?
No,
It is
no,
on the
it is
S4.
separate application. Core tool is different, means different application. Mediation works independently. Convergent
Okay.
charging is totally different system. In some projects now from BRIM, convergent charging with CI will be there, with SOM will be there, but it will not have having the mediation zone. In some projects there will be only the CM and CC. In some projects there will be every component SOM, CC, CM, CI.
Okay.
So not
Okay.
necessary it will work together.
Mhm, mhm.
So this is hardware independent architecture. It can be installed on this system. You can ignore this part. So this is again the theoretically. You want to see it into directly into tool, right? Because it will not make sense theoretically. Or should I go through the little points?
I think it's better we have a small brief and go to the practical thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So user can access MZ in three ways: GUI, CLI, and web interface. GUI is the MZ desktop that can be installed on the Windows machine. So it comes with the launcher thing. You click on the launcher, it will generate the Java process, it will download the necessary binaries, and it will start the graphical user interface. Next is the command line interface that we know when we have to connect to platform and execution zone components EC and ECSA, we have to log in into the CLI. That platform and CLI we have to stop from the this CLI. So this MZ command prompt can be installed in Linux, from where platform and EC servers can be started, and user can log in into the CLI by this command: mzsh username slash password. Next is the web interface. So it is mainly for the operations and maintenance purpose. Developers normally don't use it, and user can log in into the web interface of platform or EC using this URL, where you enter the server's IP colon port slash mz slash main. So this is how you log in into the web interface. So this is the desktop view basically. If you see here, now the GUI is completely changed. So we'll move to the next slide. So this one is for changing password. Like you'll get one window in tool, you can change the password from there. And in CLI, you can log in into the CLI, you can start, shut down, restart the platform. You can do the similar for EC and ECSA. You can check the status of the existing P codes, that is platform, EC, ECSA. You can start and stop workflows and workflow groups from the backend. You can encrypt the password for FTP and SFTP connectivity, and you can exit the MZCLI. So this is how CLI looks. So here we have logged in using the MZ admin user and the password. So this is the interactive way to log in. You enter the MZ admin user and password later. This is the non-interactive way where you enter the password in the same uh, by doing the slash. This is how we start up, shut down, and restart the Picos. Startup command is there to start up the ECs and platform. Startup EC1, startup EC4, and to shutdown command is there to restart. If any is stuck or unreachable, you can try restarting it. So restart command is there, and status command is there to check the status of the running Picos, and possible state of these Picos are running, not responding, but process still running without contact with the platform. So this way it looks like EC1 is not running, platform is running, EC1B is running. Like this, you can see the status of our processes. You can also list the workflows from the MZ tool by using the WF list command. You can also list the group of MZ workflows using the WF group list command. So these are the commands to also start and stop the workflows, like WFF start, WF stop, WF group start, WF group stop. So this is the password encryption. Sometimes we have to connect to the external systems, or external system have to connect with us. That time we don't really provide the password to external system. We encrypt the password and we provide this key to external system, and we log in by that. Also, while connect to uh, other system, also we generate the key and we connect to the other system. To exit from MZ, we use the exit and quit command. Next is the web interface. It looks like this window. You can see IP address port /mz/main. You will get the login window. You can log in by the same password here you are using for the GUI. It is mostly for the monitoring activities. As you can see here, the alarm inspector, system log, execution manager, host viewer, pico viewer. So in alarm inspector you will get the information about alarms. In system log you will get the all logs into the system. In execution manager you will see the status of the workflows running. In the host viewer you can see the host information, and in the pico viewer you can see the platform and AC information. So in the control server, as you know, platform is the heart of the application. So this platform is the collection of the different servers. Few important servers include code server, event server, workflow server, statistics server, notification server, and management server. So these are the server which are there into the platform. So when we start the platform, this all server step by step, it runs first and then the fully platform starts. In the execution zone, we can say here you can see the directly dependency and independency, that is standalone kind of configuration. So, a standalone execution context is used when workflow must be able to continue to run even if the connection with the platform is temporarily lost. A standalone setup only allows real time workflows. Means this ECSA process can run only the real time workflows. In the execution context, it helps to run all types of workflows in mediation zone, offline and online both. When EC loses contact with the platform, which consists of the different servers, then workflow will abort as soon as information supplied by the platform is missing. And you can see the connection here. If the platform is down, EC will abort, EC will stop, and workflows will be aborted. But if the platform is down and ECSA will not stop, and workflow will keep running even if the platform is unreachable. So this is the case in the real time scenarios that we need our application to be running. In case of the Uber and Ola, if the backend Spring Boot application is connected to the mediation workflow, we don't want mediation workflow to be down and keep getting the data. Then we'll schedule the workflow on the ECSA. If it is scheduled on EC, when our platform is down, EC will stop and workflow will abort. So the connectivity between the application, Spring Boot application, and our mediation tool will get affected. That's why we schedule it into the ECSA. Mainly the real-time workflow will schedule into the ECSA. Any questions?
What is the platform basically?
Platform is the, like we can say, application server. It consists of the different servers. This code server, event server, workflow server, stat server, notif server.
Okay.
Yeah. Code server means it is basically the repository, but like via the code server, where like all code will store. Event server handles the logging and triggering. Group server manage the group data. So when you will see the tool, now you'll understand like we are doing the code and it is getting saved here. Event server will handle the logging and triggering of entries. Alarm manager will manage the alarm. Like when you see the tool, you'll get to know like what is the purpose of everything. So today we'll stop here, Naveen.
Okay, so how long this course will be, Swara? How many days this one? Can you hear me?
Yes, Naveen.
This is
Uh,
Ramana here.
okay, Ramana. This will be having 35 to 40 hours.
35 to?
Syllabus will be getting from Naveen.
Okay, okay. So I will get the details from him on this. And the system will be provided. I can register, or the system will be provided by the expert trainings team.
Yeah, we'll provide you the system. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'll call you Naveen after.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Nikhil.
What project will you cover here in this?
It will be not like fully fledged project because BRIM and mediation project are very large and very huge. But you will get to know the each and every component set and its connectivity, and will do the exercises like how to take the data, how to process and decode the data, and how to transfer the data to the next system.
And take any one scenario in BRIM, like which you worked earlier, or any sample example, and how we can implement
Means
in BRIM.
actually, Ramana, to connect the CC and CI, we'll need the full-fledged connectivity and to the configuration to be done into the CC and CI. But I will show you like how to connect to CC, how to configure it, how to connect to CI, what kind of data we are getting from the CI, and what type of data we are into the CI. Also, same from the CC and SOM, like how to
Okay.
connect with those and what response you are expected from them to the CM
Mhm.
system, because it
Okay.
is all predefined, it is not random.
Okay. Okay.
So I will show you the data formats and how to do the connectivity. I'm
Okay.
not sure we can't do the whole connectivity because the CC things need to be there, CI things need to be there. We can't
Right.
do that, and it will be very time consuming. But we'll get to know like how to connect, how to take and process data from them, and how to give response to them.
Okay. So, is there any this convergent mediation will be used uh, in utility industry also, Swara, such
Are
as
you
electricity,
asking?
water?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, Means you domain you're asking which
Yeah,
domains?
domain, meter reading and those things.
Yeah, meter reading. Like I said earlier, it is widely used in the insurance industry. It is
Hmm.
used in the tolling and transportation. Also nowadays, it is using by the like airspace industry also.
Okay.
Yeah, Booking.com also in backend it is using convergent mediation only.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So one last question. Sorry, I'll take a little more time. So I worked a little bit in Java, but long back. It's not like a full-fledged Java application. So that knowledge will be sufficient to learn APL, or
It will be more than sufficient because
okay.
in Java you have to think and you have to read the large and large documentation. The CM thing only have the APL and ultra PDF. You have to go through that and you have to made up the syntax, and once you have the logic built you can use the existing configuration, predefined functions, predefined usage, and
Mhm.
you have to just think and build your own validation rule. And if you have the logic, it's very very easy because cm give all things basically,
Okay. Okay.
and
Okay.
highly configurable, so very easy than Java. If you know little bit of Java, .NET, any language, that is very like useful to learn CM.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Suppose
I'm good.
we got selected in the job in the CM, and in future we stuck somewhere while doing coding or something. Then at that time, will you support us?
That I don't know. Naveen, you can answer.
Yeah, if any small queries, definitely will help you out. Okay. Yeah. But if you want a project support, it will be separately payable. Okay.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's it.
Okay, I'm good.
And
Hi,
the
And
Sandeep.
recording of the session will be available, like each recording will you provide?
Yeah, yeah, we'll provide. Okay, there will be a portal. Okay, through portal it will be available. Okay.
Okay. It will having the access lifetime or how?
Sorry, sorry.
It will have the access lifetime or
Yeah, yeah,
how
5 years,
it will?
5 years. Okay, 5 years.
Oh, yes.
okay. So Naveen, send me the details in an email.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
call you
yeah.
tomorrow. For me, it is too
Sure,
late. It's 11:30
sure,
already.
sure. No problem, no problem. Okay.
Okay.
From Monday morning we are planning to start. Okay. Yeah.
So it is daily. It will be daily,
Yeah,
Naveen.
we are planning daily 1.5 hour. Okay, because we have only 1 month server access, right? So daily 1.5 hour kind of will plan. Okay.
So the server access will be only 1 month. So if you want to
One
extend
month it will.
further,
Yeah, you can pay and get extended. Yeah.
okay, okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you
Thanks.
guys. Thanks
Thanks
for
everyone.
attending.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir,
Bye
I,
bye.
I
Thank
have
you.
I have one question,
Yeah.
sir. I mean,
Yeah,
so when you're talking about CM, right? So we were talking about CI, SOM, and CC also, right? So is it like the
yeah.
CI is tightly coupled with those things, or CI alone also can be implemented?
CI also alone can be also implemented. I haven't worked on CI, but I have did connectivity to CI by the CM. But I
Sorry,
have
sir.
seen the
My question
projects
is,
where,
can
yeah,
the
yeah,
CM be independently implemented?
yeah, in the telecom scenario, it's mostly independent. Downstream means we put the data into the directories and downstream take it by the MFT. We don't directly connect with them. We
Okay.
can say.
So CM can be implemented independently also. It's not like tightly coupled with CI's, CC or SOM.
But to comment on that, like mediation will process the data, but finally for billing and rating, any one system like in telecom BRM, in
Mm,
BRIM CC or CI is needed because either CC or CI is needed. Kranti.
okay. No. The question why I am asking is
Mm-hmm.
to know about CM when you're talking about SOM, CI, or CC. Even
Mm-hmm.
that knowledge also is necessary, or this can be learned individually. My whole
Individual,
point.
but because not every project will have every component.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay,
So this
in
this
the
can be learned
telecom
individually.
scenario, we don't really need to understand what is BRM, what it's doing, because
Hmm.
we are directly dumping data into the required format into the directory. We don't
Hmm.
need, but in the CI and CC connectivity,
Hmm.
mediation zone have the like formats predefined that CC and CI compatible with, but you have to like discuss with that people CC and CI. When you get the requirement now, you have to
Hmm.
know that CM is compatible with this. I will ask the CC guy this question, like suppose I give you this, or this date format conversion is required, I will do it at my side, will it fine? Or to CI guy, like what is the RFC, what are the fields?
Hmm.
So this you should to know, and these are all available in CM only, predefined format you can say. And by understanding this format, you can easily talk with the CC and CI guys, like these are my question, like do you need this data or not?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you
would
don't
would
have to fully understand that system, because even now I do have the experience, but I don't really use CC or CI, but I know like what data they need for the charging, what data they need for the billing, what are the interfaces are there, what is like consumption items, billable items,
Mhm.
etc.
Okay.
Charge item, charge UDR, purchase UDR.
Okay. Okay. So hope you would be putting some light on these topics in the course.
That we will We will learn Kranti CM only. CC and CI are huge topics.
No, I'm not saying completely the CA and CC. At least what integration points. I mean,
Yeah,
what points?
integration points we do have to learn anyways, because in BRIM scenario we have to connect to that system anyways. So we'll have to learn like how the connectivity occurs and what data format this system uses, how to connect with them, by the web service also, by the charge ODR, by RFC also. So we'll put the light on that topics too. We have to actually.
Okay, okay.
So that
Okay,
will be also be the part of syllabus, like how to connect with these systems. We'll not actually connect, but I will show you like how to connect and how to fetch.
yeah, at least to know how, I mean, how the other system would be like
Yes,
that.
yes, yes, Kranti.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Sarah. That's it from me.
Thank you.
One more question. Sorry. If I want to put after this course, if I want to put any like projects in my resume, then it will be help. Like you told, you will explain one scenario. Means how I can upgrade my resume after this. Means I think you told you're not able to put any project, right? You will send one scenario,
Projects
something
will
like that.
be very large, Nikhil, but you can put the scenarios. Like we can tell you those scenarios, like project description and the industry the projects belongs to. But you have to practice that also to question. Like we can tell you that what questions can be asked on this project particularly, but you have to just prepare hands on
Okay.
by like seeing
If you will,
connectivity
I
and.
mean, you will give some project details that we can put it on, like we can tell we have done this project on the SAP CM on the freelancer basis, like that. You can
Naveen, can
give
we
some.
give that?
Sorry?
We can like you can discuss with Naveen this, Nikhil, for the like project requirement and project ideas.
No, no. In the resume, I want to add any project. Okay, you are
Mm-hmm.
telling this, I need to discuss with the Naveen itself.
Yeah, yeah, you can discuss with Naveen. Like I'm not aware like we can give or not. You can discuss with this like with
Mhm.
Naveen. Yeah.
Okay, thank
We
you.
can surely help you to build up the resume, attractive one. Yeah, but you can discuss this with Naveen.
Okay, Naveen,
Sarah, one last question.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do we have any? I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe this question sounds silly. Will there be any certifications for this CM? I mean, and now in outside?
No, actually, there is no certification for CM. There is one for BRIM, usage to cache,
Okay,
that
but
you
there
can
is
do for overall BRIM. There is only one certificate. I guess there is separate one for the SOM also.
okay.
SOM and usage to billing. There are only two certification, and this one particularly usage to BRIM certification will have some question from CCCI and some from CM.
hmm But no specific certification for CM.
No, no. Overall BRIM just one certification will work.
Okay,
And
okay,
if
fine.
you are from the SOM, I guess there is a SOM certification also.
Okay, 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 sir. Thank you, and thanks for that resume preparation thing. That would be really helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Do you have any other question? No. Have a good day, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Naveen.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
So, Naveen, so from Monday.
This conference will now be recorded.
I was present.
Bharti was not available on that. I shared her the video demo recording.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Bharti, you have any queries?
Not it. If needed, I will
Oh,
ask you.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll move into the mediation zone key features. So it is fully convergent system. It allows the fixed data flow, mobile data flow, data services flow. Mediation zone supports online and offline mediation in the single platform. Means we get an option to create the offline workflow and to create the real time workflow. Some agents will be different for offline and some agents will support the online data processing. Like there will be an REST agent and SOAP agent for the online flow. There will be SFTP, FTP agents for the offline data flow. It is easily configurable system. We'll see now. It has the flexible architecture. It is very scalable. We can increase the number of EC and ECSA and make it like more scalable. It has the high performance. It supports the multi-threading and it runs on the leading edge CPU. And it has the like benchmarking proven architecture through the deployments. So these are the mediation zone feature. These are the functionalities mediation zone provides us. It helps us to do the to configure the configurable task. Means suppose we have the multiple host, so we don't have to open the workflow every time we need to change any configuration. We can just open one property file and we can configure from there. That will see into the UI. Then it has the event and alarm management statistics. Means if any workflow aborts or if any error is there in the workflow, we'll get the alarm. We also have the audit and stats options where we can do the audit like this many UDRs or CDRs go into the collection, pass the collection agent, how many pass the processing agent, how many pass the forwarding agent. We can see this using this audit option or functionality. Then we have the import and export functionality too. We have the user management, where we can create the multiple users. We have the web interface and command line access to check the CPU and memory and throughput of workflows. We have the archiving option and we can schedule the workflows. We there is one feature like we can schedule the offline workflows together and online workflow together, but not mix the both workflows in single group. That will see into the GUI only. And it has the ultra, which help us to do the decoding of workflows, decoding of the UDRs, encoding of the UDRs. It has the APL, which is basically the custom language of the mediation. There is an diameter and radius agent, which is widely used in the telecom. It has the aggregation and correlation functionality, and we have the duplicate and record check functionality. So these are all the functionalities that this tool provides. Like if like customer asks to give any POC or any demo for the mediation zone, we have to tell him that this features we can provide you with this tool. So customer can choose from these many options. Next is the workflow. So workflow uh, has the three basic process in mediation zone, where we'll collect the data from the data source in the collection agent, then we'll process the data and then we'll distribute the data to the downstream system. Now we'll open the GUI. So we'll first go through the GUI option. So this option here is the browser, where you can see the configurations, open windows and all. Second, here it is the configuration window where we can pick any profile or we can create the workflow here. So when we click on this create workflow, we get the workflow type. It can be batch workflow, it can be real-time workflow, or it can be task workflow. So we get these many times. So now we'll create the batch, or maybe today we'll create the real-time one. So this icon here, earlier it was very user friendly, but with the newest version, they made it more difficult for the like you can say visually to improve the performance. Because if you see in the PPT, earlier they used like many color coded options for the collection and distribution and all, but to simplify, like to handle the large data load, they have removed this all. and they have made it more black and white kind of type. Any question till this point?
Sora, can you show how to log in and the login process once?
Yeah. So now we have exited this tool. Like I have told earlier that we can log in into mediation zone by the web interface and also by the uh, what we can say mediation zone launcher. So first basis team will provide you the launcher. You have to double click on this launcher. This is basically the Java based application. They will provide you the host IPs. So what we have to do is we have to add this instance. In this host option, we can add the IP provided. Here it is 192.168.200. If it is development server, you can give here development name. If it is pre-prod or production or quality, you can give similar name. They will also tell you if it is secure connection or not, and you have to click accordingly. Once you see here 192 host and then launch desktop, it will launch the desktop application. But what this launcher service do is in background it will download the binaries. Binaries means like background files, like all the agent configuration, the workflow configuration, that it will download in the background. Now we'll click on the save instance.
So I have a question, Sora.
Yeah.
So the number of instances we created every time these files will be downloaded?
No, it will be only once.
Okay.
Once you have configured, it will be saved here. You have to configure it only once, development, quality, prod, and then you can just double click and log in every time. So it is one time activity only.
Okay, so thank you.
Yeah. We can provide the username here. So now you can see the first window. So this is how it looks at first time. From here you can change your password. You can enter the old password, you can enter the new password, and you can confirm the same. If you want to check the version and which user is currently logged in, you have like there is an icon, SAP CM user 2. It is the desktop version. This is the platform version, and this is the exit option. So from here you can change the password. From here you can check the platform or desktop version. This is basically the browser option where you can see the packages in mediation zone. These are the different package. By default there will be the system task package there. So the system task is actually the background task that mediation by default run into the background. So this workflow will be provided by DigitalRoute. We have not created this workflows. The next step is to create the first package. You can right click in this pan and you get the option to create the new folder. We are giving the name here MZ training. So whenever, okay, so space is allowed, not allowed in the naming. So I have put underscore. So every time you are building something new, basically in BRIM, suppose it is an bike rental operation, and another is the car rental operation, and third one is not the similar project, it is an telecom application. So for the dedicated one you can create the packages, like one folder you can create rental and you can put the bike and car workflows under it. In the second folder telecom you can put the telecom workflows in it. So it is always project specific, like how you have to keep it. Then you can right click on this package and you can see the option like refresh, expand, collapse, new configuration, new folder, export, delete, and rename. Now I'm creating the new configuration. So I'm not creating any profile. I will just create the workflow. This profile means in background agent use the different configuration or host or configuration modes. Suppose there is an archive agent, then it will use the archive profile to store the archive data into the particular path. So what will we do is we'll use the archive agent, but in background we'll create this archive profiles, and in workflow we'll use the agent only. We'll create one workflow. Any questions, guys, till now?
So the earlier one you showed is a web version, right? Now this is a GUI version.
Yeah, basically in the web version, we don't do the development. We do the
Okay.
development in this version only. This version is used by the support team,
Okay.
where we can see the which workflow is aborted and all. Similar can be viewed in this one too, but for the simplification, they use this web UI, and we use this launcher.
Okay. Thank you.
So these are the collection agent in the real time. So you will not use all agents from the real time, but you will use only the project specific. Suppose the requirement is to pick the data from the Amazon SQS, then you can use this AWS SQS agent. If requirement is to collect from disk, then you can use this disk agent accordingly. Even I haven't used all agents in this stack. I have used, I guess, 10. um, WebSocket, UDP, TCP, syslog, Python agent, interworkflow agent, etc. So what I will do is I will provide you the documentation link today. You can go through that and you can study this agent first.
So Swara, on what basis we can determine which agent has to be used?
By the requirement of customer mostly. If they have, mostly they will have any existing system, or they are developing any new system. So they will ask us, like, we have the REST connectivity, will you able to give us that? So we'll agree to that demand. Basically we'll agree anything which customer say, because we have the huge agent stack option. We have HTTP too. We have JMS too, which is Java based. So we'll tell the customer like we have this agent. we can connect to your system by these options. So it is mostly that. And for the BRIM systems, there are by default agent. This I will go through that agent first. Mostly in BRIM, we use the web service provider. We use the bridge. We use the CC notification agent. We use the inter-workflow agent. We use the FTP. We use the disk. For the processing, it's mainly the aggregation, analysis, encoder, inter-workflow, SAP CC online, SAP CC batch, and SAP CC REST agent, SAP RFC processor. Now we'll categorize this much. So whenever the requirement is to pick the file from the collector, we'll use the disk agent. So mainly we use the disk agent with SAP CI. Are you all familiar with SAP CI?
No, Swara.
So it is basically the invoicing system. Means in BRIM landscape, we pick the data from the source system, we process the data in the mediation. After the data is processed, we send data for the charging to SAP CC, which is charging system, and we send the data for the invoicing to SAP CI, which is convergent invoicing model. So whenever we have to pick the data from CI, we use this disk agent or this web service provider agent. So what's the difference between these two is a disk agent picks the files. It is file based. It have the options to give the directory, to give the file name to be picked. Then after the collection, we can move the file to the temporary directory, and we can either move the file to the different folder after processing, or we can rename it to avoid it picking the second time. Suppose we have the directory like home, app admin, and we have to pick only the CSV files. Then we will add the filter here, like only pick the CSV files. And to avoid the same file picking twice, we can remove the file, and if we want to archive it, we'll give the archive path here. Suppose we want to rename the file, not to move the file into the another folder, we can rename the file, and we can add the prefix like p underscore to show that it is processed earlier. So this is how disk collection works for the mediation. This is basically I'm showing the simple option. We are going to implement this. I'm showing this to make you like habitual with this UI. It is very simple to configure these options. You have any questions? Anyone?
So far, I am good, Swara.
Okay. So just like see these things, and we are gonna implement this disk and web service in our exercises and aggregation. I'm just showing this to show you like how to configure each and every agent. Though we cannot like configure everything, but how to do it. So if we click on this subfolder option, This agent will pick the files from this app admin too and from this subfolders too, and it will pick the file name ending with .csv. We are closing this one. Now we'll see the web service provider. So here I have told you, like, to make the workflows configurable, we use the agents, and this agent will refer to the profile which will contain the host information or the connectivity information. So we don't have to put anything here, will refer the profile. Now this is the web service provider agent. By this agent, we can take the SOAP request from any source system. We can take the SOAP request. So, are you familiar with SOAP and REST protocols? Hello.
And we have heard about it, but not sure about those protocols. So
Okay. So in mediation, uh, when they say like you configure the web service, you create the XML file, or you set up the REST service and create the REST workflow. Whenever they tell you that, you just Google about that protocol, take the template and just manipulate the template according to our scenario. I will show how to create the web service so in detail in next exercises. Now I will show you how to configure this agent. So go into the this configuration window. Here is the option for web service WS profile. Select that, open that. Here is an option to select the single WSDL file. So web service uses the WSDL file. You can create the WSDL and import it here. We'll see it in one example, and then we can use the same profile here, and we can give the host address, whatever it is, here, and we can connect to that uh, web service. So this is mostly used while we connect to any portal. Suppose there is an requirement that by using mediation zone, you have to connect to the source system of client, which is basically a .NET portal or Java portal. So you can tell them like we have the web service agent, and we you can give us the HTTP address. We'll connect to your system. So whenever we are connecting to their system, they can like provide us the username and password, or we can tell them like we need these three things, can you please provide us, and then we'll connect to their system by this web service agent. And same web service provider agent is also used to connect with SAP CI2. Are all clear about these two agents?
yes, sir.
So collection agent basically do the collection only. They don't do any processing. We can just configure the collection strategy in them, like how to collect the data and what is the queue size, what is the threshold. We can configure it here. But actual processing is done by the processing agent. This one. We'll go through some theory to clarify you more. Now we have seen the agent pan. They have replaced this agent pan with this agent pan basically. This is the agent pan. Now it is colorless. Um, but
Swara, I have got one doubt in the GUI.
yeah,
You are saying that the left panel is agents, right? But on the top it is written as workflow.
Yeah, this is the workflow. Actually, in the updates, they have made this mess.
Okay.
So this workflow is this actually. This
Oh,
workflow is consisted of all these things. This is the what you can say template. This is the agent pan, and from here you select the collection agent, processing agent, and forwarding agent.
oh, okay, okay. Now I got it. Collection agent. Okay,
Collection agent, processing agent, and forwarding agent.
okay. Now I got
We
it.
cannot interchange that. Yeah, this arrow is right hand side means it is the collection agent. This
Mm.
are you able to see this on screen? These two arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this is for the processing one, and this third one, where the arrow is on the left hand side. These are all the forwarding agents, and we cannot change their places in workflow.
Okay, okay. Now I got it, sir. Yeah, thanks.
So this is the agent pan. This is the workflow table. So in our workflow, this is basically the workflow table. Suppose we have the different host at client side, and we have to pick the data from the different IPs. So we can like configure our workflow to pick the data from one IP, and then we can create another workflow. So that is not needed here. We can create the multiple workflows from here only. So we can add the workflow to workflow 3, and we can just change the IP of the collection from the configuration from this workflow table. So this workflow table is used to create the multiple instances of the same workflow. So even if the source size increases, source system size, there will be hundreds of systems. So you don't have to create the new workflow every time. You just add, you just come here and add the instance, and you can make it configurable. That we'll see in the exercise itself. So are you clear with purpose of why this is there, this workflow table? It will create the copy of the same workflow, configurable copy. Suppose there
Yeah.
is an IP ending with 01, first will pick up data from the 01 only, second will pick up with 02, third will pick up from 03. So there will be load balancing between this workflow. Suppose if there is a data amount is small there, then there is no problem. But normal imitation zone handle the data in like lakhs of record. So there will be so much load. So to distribute it or to improve the performance, we normally distribute the load among the multiple instances. There can be 20 instances, there can be 40, there can be 60, anything.
Got it, sir.
And here is the canvas where we design the workflow. This why it is called as canvas, and where we design the workflow, this is called as a workflow template. So we can select all this. So this is my template, and this white is my canvas where I'm drawing this workflow. Workflow properties will configure like now only. So here is one workflow, and we have to change its properties. Then we'll go into this properties window, this one setting option. So here now you get the agent name. So this is the pulse agent. So whenever we are testing anything in real time, suppose source system is not ready, client system is not ready, and we have to hard code the data and test our other configuration, then we use this pulse agent. So these pulse agents have the timing, like we can We can run it for like microseconds, milliseconds, minutes, or the fixed time interval. It will run as our requirement. So I have configured it to run single time. Means it will run only once. And now we'll go into the properties. So here we see like per workflow option, debug type option, threads option, and to use the external reference profile. So with this workflow table, we can make the configurable values like host address, port address, username, password, everything configurable using this external reference. So there will be the property file that will see into the exercise that will be map here. It will be the simple text file. So it will contain the different hosts. So when we click on this option, we'll get this profile. We'll click on OK. We have not selected profile here. We'll create it at the time of exercises. And here we'll select the values like thread setting and all. And we'll select them and click on enable. If it is valid external reference file, we'll get this option to enable this file. So the workflows will get the configurable values. So many times customer ask us that whenever we deploy any application on their system, they will ask us, I have to change this IP, I have to change this port. What if the system is migrating? How will you change that? We don't know this GUI. How will we configure this workflow? So what will we tell them? We have the workflow table enable. You can go into the property file and you just edit it in text file and it will be reflecting here. So this is the use of this workflow table. And in properties, we can select the external files to take the configurable data from. So here is the error and execution settings where we set the workflow to execute on round robin algorithm, machine load on workflow count, and we can also select the background. Here it is test system, so there is not any EC group, but normally the EC group is there. So we can select any EC group and workflow will run on that. EC is basically, we can say, the Java runtime process server type of application on which this workflow runs. This EC will provide the memory to the workflow. More the workflow has load or many agents or data load, you can increase the size of EC according to that. Suppose it is a collection workflow for telecom and daily we are expecting the lakhs of data or million and billion of data coming at every second, then we can allot like huge memory into this EC, particular ECs, and we can schedule the EC accordingly. Suppose there is an workflow where we are expecting the input from the portal from customer side and the frequency will be like 500 record, 1000 record daily, then we don't need the huge memory. So we'll tell the basis like create the EC with the 250 MB, 200 MB combination, and then we'll schedule that lighter workflow on that EC. So this is the use of this execution type. So this is the real-time scalability where we set the queue size and queue worker strategy like dedicated and round robin, and we can also set the debug types. Have any one of you like seen the mediation zone real time working earlier at the time of your projects?
No, sir. We were just having an idea how mediation works, but not directly into it.
So in the debug type, if we set the debug type event, it will show us log on the screen itself. But whenever we are processing large amount of data, we cannot see everything on screen. Then we will be selecting this file option. And whenever any other system member like CC, CI or SOM or any external system members asking us to provide the logs, will directly provide them these files that this is the log file, and these many records are processed. So here is an option to keep the log file, maybe 5 or 6. Now for now I will set it as event. So this workflow template is clear, right?
Yeah, so far it's clear.
This workflow option is clear or not? To configure the multiple instances, basically we'll add workflows in the single workflow. Is it clear what we have seen here at down?
So these workflows, Swara, I mean, as per what you have said, we are just copying the instances, right?
Correct. Workflow will be the same. We'll be just changing the host.
Okay,
Host
it is
or
not like if we have created 2, 3, 4 from one, and we are making some changes in 4. That is it the case, right?
yeah, we can do that too. If suppose we can also select the threshold, or we can also add the naming strategy here, like workflow 1 will pick up the file for SMS only, workflow 2 will pick up the file for mobile calls only. We can set this by using the regular expression.
Okay, so it is not only copying the instances, but also we can add the instances according to requirement.
Yeah, according to requirement, same configuration, like same code you have, and you are just making the copy to connect it to different instance of source system.
Okay, got
Suppose,
it.
for example, there is an web portal from client where the data is coming from like 2 3 IPs. Then one workflow can connect to one IP, right? For the SOAP, we have seen like we have option to enter the IP address here, HTTP address here. So it is connecting to one system, but the customer is saying that we have 3 systems. So how will we connect? We'll create another workflow? No. We'll add the second instance, and in second instance we can change this HTTP address.
Okay, got it. Got it. Or else it could be like this also, right? In the first instance, you are using only disk one, and in the second instance, you are using only web service provider.
No, that is not possible. It will be direct copy of this first workflow. No agent different, just the configuration difference.
Okay, so the agents has to be the same only. There will not be any difference.
No, there will not be any difference. Difference will be only in configuration.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
So this is the workflow table where we'll create the multiple copies of the same workflow to be worked on. From the workflow properties, we can make the values configurable, that will see into the exercises. These all options will check in the exercises. So whenever we do the coding into the workflow, we have to check if the workflow is valid or not. So there is an option to validate here. So once it's valid only, then only you can save that. If it is not valid, we cannot run the workflow. Only the valid workflow are allowed to run. Are you getting my point?
So this validation is done across all the instances of the table, or only the?
all instance of the table. If any one instance is invalid, we'll get the error.
Okay. Okay.
We'll try to add any error here. So we have the syntax error. So it will again show the error here. Don't know how in this version they are allowing to run even. Earlier it was not allowed. It's now allowing to debug, but normally it like wouldn't run in the previous version. But we have to validate every time and resolve all the errors. So when we used to validate it used to turn green. Now it is black and white. So we have to always check for the message. Hmm. So once it's valid, the sign changed. So here you get the information like on what EC this workflow is running, the debug setting which is event for now, and you will get the message here. So how to run this workflow is to click on the right click on this workflow table and just select debug in monitor, and it will be open into the monitor mode. And here is an option to start the workflow and to stop the workflow. And from here, if there are multiple agents, then we'll get the different windows. So this window is for pulse, this window is for the analysis block. Suppose there are many other blocks, HTTP block, then we'll get the another option here to check the debug for that agent too. So this is how we run the workflows. And if we don't want to debug, suppose in production it is never on the debug mode, mediation zone. It is only on run mode, because in production there will be huge log files. If we set it on set it to run on debug mode now, it will be huge log files because data will be very large. So it is mostly on run in monitor mode in production. And whenever any issue arises in production, they will basically give us the files or data which cause the errors, and will reproduce the issue by enabling the debug mode into lower versions, like in pre-production or in quality or in development environment. So by this tool option here, you can see the tool icon. We'll go to the execution manager. So from the execution manager, you can see the overview. Like in the overview section, we can see the workflow groups. And when we open the work here, these workflow groups are created by the DigitalRoute itself. It is by default there, so we have not like option enabled to open it in detail view. When we create the group, we have this option enabled to view it in detailed manner, and this will open the another window which will show the all workflows in this particular group. And in this running workflows tab, we'll see the we can see the running workflows like state running, on which EC it is scheduled, from whom it is started by, start time, debug is on or not, backlog, and throughput. So in production, basically, we turn off this debug from here. So it is not in debug mode now. It is only on running mode. And you can see here debug is off. So many time it happen that developers keep this debug on in production, but we should keep it off always in production. In lower version, we should keep it on. And in this detail view, whenever we have any group created by us, then we can see it in detail views. We'll create the workflow group and workflows tomorrow, and I will tell you like how to schedule the workflows into the workflow group and how to view that groups here, and then how we manage while supporting any mediation zone application, how to manage these workflows. Now we'll come into the PPT. So here was the validation option. The workflow can be called as valid only when it contains the following set of data: configuration validation, agents and routes, code configuration of agents. So these three things should be valid to make any workflow valid. Then the version management. So what if the multiple people from the team are working on the same workflow? You will do, suppose if the requirement came and your lead said like you go and do this change, and suppose whenever like if the CC guys tell the another developer from the team like you go and do this change, so this two change will override each other. So to avoid this, we have the history option in mediation zone. So here you can see the history option. L means the last change and H means the historical change. Are this option enabled to you? Visible to you? Are this option visible to you?
Yeah, they're visible.
Yeah, so it is always recommended that whenever you are doing any change, you put the comment while saving the workflow. If I am putting one more line here and I'm saving the workflow, there is a version comment like CO change order 12 to update the address validation. You can mention the bug or defect number here or the task number here and add some description, and you said okay. Now in the last change, in the historical change, we don't see any comment. In the last change, there is a comment like I have made this change. So this by this history, all the team will be on track. Like he have made this change or he have made this change on, and on the top of that you can make the another change. Is this clear, like why this option is here and how we use it in CM?
Yeah, getting it a little bit.
Suppose you are, even if you are the individual worker working on the single workflow, then also you put the comment, so you'll be on track that suppose there is bug 1 which have to go into the June, and suppose there is bug 2 which have to go into the July. Okay, so you will be suppose they decide to schedule the July deployment to deploy it in June itself. So you always save with the comment and you go to that version, you export that version and you give it to the next maybe test team or operations team. So this version control is very useful for that purpose. So whenever user makes changes, previous version of workflow will be saved. This can be viewed using the view history. Whenever the workflow starts, it always picks up latest version. In case of real-time workflow, to pick the latest changes, a workflow needs to be restarted unless the dynamic update option available for the agent. So this is the version management functionality. Next is the workflow monitoring that we just now seen, that just right click on the workflow and open it into the monitor mode. Open monitor. So now we are like, it is already into the running state. We can stop here. Stop this workflow. Now we'll go into the execution manager. We can see the status here. Pulse workflow had stopped, and in the running workflows it will not be visible. We can start it again and we can check the execution manager that it's running now. So to start and stop any workflow, we use this workflow monitor option. The next is the agents. Agents are basically the predefined functionalities that are available built in mediation zone. Collection agent collects the data from the different data service using the different protocols: SFTP, FTP, disk agent. Processing agent that are neither collection nor distribution but are used for the business logic, decoding and encoding, etc. Suppose we are getting the data from the user in the pipe separated format in one file, and the destination system wants us to convert it into the CSV, that is comma separated format. So what will we do? We'll collect the data in the pipe separated format. Will not add any logic here to convert the pipe separated data into the CSV, because we don't have the option to add here too. We'll add the logic here in the processing block. I will show you like how to decode the data and how to process the data further. And by the distribution, we'll convert at this stage from pipe to CSV, and at the distribution stage, we'll distribute the comma separated data to the destination system. So here is basically the flow diagram of this mediation workflow. Like there will be the data source or file stream. Collector will pick up the collect the data. Then the workflow will have the decoder, which will decode the data. Then there will be the processing block. There will be multiple processing agent or single processing agent. Then there will be encoder block, and then there will be the forwarding agent, which will send the data to downstream system. So in any project it will be like this only: collector, decoder, processing, encoder, forwarding. And you just have to tell the client or the other teams the option you have at collector, the option you have at processing, the option you have at forwarding. Like my system can provide you these collectors. I can process the data here and I will give the data you in this format. Any question for this slide?
Sarah, will this slides will be shared to us?
Yes.
Yeah. Just to go through it so that we can come up with some doubts tomorrow.
Yeah, it will be shared with, maybe tomorrow it will be shared with you. Yes. Is that fine?
Oh, okay, okay.
So disk collection agent we already gone through. Disk agent collection will be having this file collection strategy directory to be like to pick up the files from, file name to be picked from this directory, and after the processing we move to the file to any other directory, or rename the file, or remove the file, or ignore the file. But we can select any of one of this option, not all of this option. Any question for the disk collection agent? it looks difficult, but it is not like difficult. Like we can provide the path and it will keep picking the files. We don't have to do anything. Are you guys clear with it?
I think it's been a bit overflowing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll stop for the day. I will provide you the documentation link in chat box. You read about the agents and then you come up with the questions tomorrow. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. I will pass the link to the Naveen and Naveen will provide you. Is that fine?
Yeah. We'll be waiting for that so that we can go through it, right?
Yes. Uh, Hello.
Yeah, we are here.
Yeah. Okay. So I will provide you link. You all go through the agents and you can write out the question. And before starting the session, you can like pass on the question and you can ask the question in session itself too. Okay, guys.
So, Sora, the document which you're sharing is the mediation zone documentation or only for the agents?
No. Overall documentation, I will provide you the page link. Like you have to go through this only. So we'll go. What we'll do? It's the huge area. So we'll go step by step. First, you read about the agent. Then
Mhm.
tomorrow we'll create the one basic workflow, and then you will get some idea like how to do it practically. But first, you read about the agent.
Okay. Okay.
Mostly like we'll go exercise by exercise because theoretically it will be very difficult to understand, so we'll start exercise from tomorrow itself. Is that fine, guys?
Okay.
Okay.
And how about the system access? I guess tomorrow they will provide, or are they going to provide today itself, system access?
Yeah, we'll provide you by tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, everyone, good night.
So, Swara, I'm really
Hmm?
sorry to bother you again.
Yeah.
So, would you be sending the link now to Naveen?
Yeah, now after the session I will provide the link to Naveen and Naveen will share with you.
Okay. The
Everything will
reason.
be updated in the portal. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. No, Naveen. The thing is, I am in a different time zone, right? So, if it's been late, then I had to sit in the night. That's the reason I was asking.
No, I
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Yeah.
Bear for
Thanks.
one day, you'll understand all the things. Okay. Just bear for one day. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Any more questions?
I
Oh,
have just last one small question. Like, see,
yeah.
mediation. I believe other than SAP, we have in other like AppDoc, Amazon. They also have mediation something systems
Hmm.
in competition world. So
Yes.
we learn this mediation. Okay,
Hmm.
this digital role. Are we capable to manage the other mediation systems also in the market, or is this restricted to this SAP
No, it's not restricted because see, like,
concept are
I
same?
have personally worked in BRIM mediation for 3 years. Then I have worked in insurance domain on the same tool for 2 years, and then I have worked in telecom also on the same tool for the 2 years.
You
So
mean to say you worked in the digital route mediation, or you mean to say you worked in some other
digital route only and CPI too. So for the every mediation tool, it will be the same base.
oh,
But
same concept?
this tool is getting like very popular. If you see, it has huge demand.
Yeah, features also very large inside.
Yeah,
Okay,
and it's very like better than CPI and we can say MDocs and everything. It can handle and it is very user friendly and handle large amount of data too.
no, fine. Thank
Swara, tomorrow, before beginning the class, can you please give us an insights about the time, I mean, version history of this tool, like when it has got initiated and like that? I think the current
Sure,
version is
Kanji.
903, right?
Yeah,
So it
and
just
I
gives
know
you,
three. Some people are still using 8.1. Till the last month, we were using the 8.1 only, but now we have like migrated to this 9.3 because they have they have given a lot of features, but they have like removed the coloring from the tool. So I guess in future they are going to correct it.
okay. Now the reason why I'm asking is if you can give us a brief about, if not tomorrow, later point of the time also, like the version name and what all the features has been included on a high level, not in a very deeper
Yes,
level, on
sure,
a high
sure,
level.
sure, Kranti. Yeah,
If
sure.
you can share that information, that would be easy for us to when we get into some interviews, right? So at
Yes,
that
yes.
point
In
of time,
interview, they do ask like which version you use,
yeah. So we
and
can't
because
share.
every version have new features in it. So
Yes, yes. We can't take a version. We can't quote a version which is older, and we can't quote the new features we have worked in that one, right? So just to have that an idea.
yes,
Okay.
we'll go through that point. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thanks, Farah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Naveen.
Yeah.